Hey everyone, and thanks so much for being here. You know, in 2026, the world of software development looks completely different. Let's be real, AI coding assistants aren't just a cool new thing anymore. They're basically our co-pilots. So today, we're staging a massive showdown between the top 5 contenders. This isn't about looking at feature lists. This is about seeing how they perform under real pressure.
I know, that sounds a little dramatic, right? But honestly, we are living through the biggest change in how we build software since, the compiler was invented. AI is no longer just an assistant. It's becoming a fundamental piece of how we work.
And this isn't some far-off futuristic prediction. Just look at this number, 41%. That's how much code, written just last year, had an AI's hands on it. The revolution isn't coming, people. It is already here, and it is moving fast.
Okay, let's get to it. Time to meet the contenders. We've got 5 absolute heavyweights in the ring, and each one has a totally unique strategy for helping you code. Let's see what they're bringing to the fight.
First up, you know this one. It's the OG, GitHub Copilot. This is the tool that basically created the entire category. It's baked into pretty much every IDE you can think of, and it has become the gold standard. It's that reliable workhorse that millions of us count on every single day.
Next, we've got Cursor AI. Now this is a whole different beast. This isn't just another plugin you install. It's a full-blown code editor, an IDE, built from the ground up to be AI first. Cursor is designed to understand your entire project, which makes it feel less like a tool and more like a strategic partner.
And then there's Claude Sonnet. The best way to think about Claude is not as a coder, but as a senior architect. This thing is a powerhouse of deep reasoning. You use it when you're tackling really complex problems or trying to design a whole new system from scratch.
In this corner, we have Amazon Q Developer. If your day-to-day is swimming in the AWS ecosystem, then Q is basically your new best friend. It's the ultimate AWS whisperer, trained on years of Amazon's own code and docs. It just gets cloud-native development.
And rounding out our lineup, we have Google Gemini Code Assist. Gemini's superpower is its brain, or more specifically, its memory. Its context window is massive, up to 1 million tokens. Think of that like the AI's short-term memory. It can hold a huge chunk of your project in its head at once, making it a super smart all-arounder, especially for big projects.
So, how do you even compare tools that are this different? Well, you can't just read a feature list, right? That's not the real world. So I decided to throw each of these contenders into the deep end. I put them through a grueling, real-world gauntlet on the kind of projects you and I work on every day. And believe me, we did not go easy on them. These were the testing grounds. We're talking a complex React e-commerce app, a Python microservice with fast API, a gnarly legacy Java refactor, over 15,000 lines of code, plus a Node CLI tool and a Go API. We pushed these tools to their absolute breaking points.
All right, now for the main event. Every single one of these tools is incredibly powerful, but they each have a very distinct superpower. Let's dig in and find out what they are. GitHub Copilot's superpower is just its raw, unadulterated speed. It feels like autocomplete on steroids, and it's been shown to boost productivity by up to 50%. And the reason is it keeps you in the flow. You're not stopping to look up syntax or write boilerplate. You just stay focused on the logic. It just works.
Cursor AI's code-based aware chat is, and I don't use this term lightly, a total game changer. You can literally ask it to refactor a feature that touches 10 different files, and it just does it because it understands the whole project. It's not just suggesting snippets, it's collaborating with you on a strategic level. Claude Sonnet's superpower is its ability to think. Seriously, before it writes a single line of code, it can reason through complex architectural problems. It can design a brand new algorithm, and it'll even consider the edge cases for you. You bring in Claude when you need an architect, not just a pair programmer. Amazon Q's specialized intelligence gives it this incredible deep understanding of the whole AWS ecosystem. It doesn't just write code, it writes optimized, secure, cost-aware code that follows all the AWS best practices. For anyone building on AWS, this is just a massive, massive advantage. And Gemini Code Assist's superpower is that insane memory we talked about. That 1 million token context window means it can see the entire forest, not just the trees, even in huge enterprise code bases. This means it's not making isolated suggestions, it's giving you fixes and features that actually make sense with your project's overall architecture.
All right, after all that testing, it is time for the final verdict. We've got 5 amazing tools, each with a very different strength. So the big question is, which one is right for you? Let's break it all down.
Okay, here's the cheat sheet. For just raw coding speed and getting rid of boilerplate, GitHub Copilot is your tried and true choice. If you want an AI that really gets your whole project for big refactors, Cursor AI is just in a league of its own. For those really tough architectural puzzles, Claude Sonnet is your expert consultant. If you live and breathe AWS, Amazon Q is a no-brainer. And for massive code bases, especially if you're in the Google Cloud world, Gemini is your super intelligent contender.
So what do I actually use? Well, here's a pro tip. You don't have to pick just one. My personal stack is a combination. I use Cursor AI as my main editor because of that project-wide intelligence, but I keep GitHub Copilot's completions turned on for that raw implementation speed. Then, when I'm really stuck on a tough design problem, I'll fire up Claude Sonnet.
You know, the big takeaway here is that this is so much more than just a new set of tools. We are really watching a fundamental shift in what it means to be a software developer. These assistants are freeing us up to focus on the creative stuff, the problem solving, the architecture, not just the syntax.
And that leaves us with a really powerful, maybe even a little provocative question. AI is not going to take your job, but a developer who has truly mastered leveraging AI, they just might. These tools are the new competitive edge. So the question isn't if you should adopt them anymore, it's how are you going to adapt and master them.
But hey, that's my take. I am genuinely curious to hear from all of you. What does your AI stack look like today? Are you all in on one of these or are you mix and imagine? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear what's working for you.
And if you found this breakdown valuable and you want to stay ahead of the curve with me, please make sure to subscribe. Your support really does give me the motivation and energy to keep creating these deep dives into the future of development. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.